Look around this place. Doesn't it look familiar? You have seen this before, haven't you? Like you have been here before. Well, maybe not in real life, because it's a weird looking place that I made in Blender, but maybe you have seen something similar in your dreams. Or how about this place? Everything looks so familiar. Maybe it's a childhood memory, or maybe a memory of your dreams, but for some reason, everything looks so familiar and yet very distant, and gives a feeling of deep nostalgia and also anxiety and horror at the same freaking time. This feels like a place from an alternate reality, a place that you are not actually supposed to see, a place where you are not supposed to be. These strange in-between places are called liminal spaces, and that is what we are going to talk about in this video, because honestly, I have a lot of free time. Yeah. So sit back, relax, and let's talk about liminal space. So first of all, what is a liminal space? The word liminal means threshold, or to put it simply, it's like an in-between state of two places, like a door or a hallway. Liminal spaces are the specific types of locations where things feel a bit off, as if everything is stuck in time. Empty places that feels like it exists in an alternate dimension or some parallel world, and gives a feeling of deja vu, as if you have been here before. There are no humans around and everything has an uncanny feel to it, as if nothing is real and all of it is just a memory of your dreams. Now, even though there are not any actual definition to what makes a photo so-called 100% certified liminal, but there are certain common elements that can be seen in almost all the liminal photos. Like for example, this photos doesn't have any kinds of humans in them. These images show familiar locations but in somewhat an uncanny way. Like the rooms are really empty, the lighting feels a bit off, and the furnitures are placed in weird locations. I mean, who the fuck sits like that? The TV is literally on the opposite side. Come on, man. And most of these photos takes place in a transitional or a temporary location. Places where you are not actually supposed to stay for long. Places like corridors or hallways or gas stations or shopping malls or empty houses. But then again, there are not any fixed rules, because there are a lot of photos that doesn't follow any of these rules, and yet they still feel 100% certified liminal straight out of the fields. Heck, this don't even need to be real life photos. There are a lot of paintings that feel 100% liminal. There are 3D rendered images that feel 100% liminal, like this one. At the end of the day, liminal is subjective. A photo that looks liminal to me might seem like just another normal picture to you. It all comes down to the feeling it creates, Like when you see this, what do you feel? Do you feel nostalgic, or maybe anxious, or maybe something else? Because there are no fixed rules for what makes a certain photo so-called liminal. But I can tell you what doesn't make a photo liminal. Because oh boy, there are so many misconceptions. Okay, so just because a photo looks blurry or low quality doesn't mean it's liminal. Okay? Stop posting those shitty and blurry photos. Those are not liminal. And also, not every creepy photo is liminal. Just because there is someone creeping through the corner in the photo doesn't mean it's liminal. Okay? Creepy or spooky doesn't always mean it's liminal. The r/liminal space subreddit describes liminal as, and I quote, "A liminal space is the time between what was and the next. It is a place of transition, waiting, and not knowing. Liminal space is where all transformation takes place, if we learn to wait and let it form us." So basically, liminal spaces are the transition between what was and the next. Or to explain even more simply, I love how this Reddit user puts it so well. Imagine a classroom from your childhood. You probably pictured it during the day, with sunlight streaming through the windows, the teacher is probably taking a class, or the students are talking with each other. This is how we usually imagine classrooms. But now imagine sneaking into that same classroom but late at night, when everyone's gone home. The classroom now suddenly looks a lot eerie and out of place. Its usual purpose is now gone, leaving behind a strange, mysterious space that feels both familiar but also really distant at the same time. But the very next morning when you come back to school again, the room would be back to normal in its default state, back to being just a classroom. But that nighttime, that in-between state when the classroom was empty and it was feeling a little spooky and out of place, that was its liminal phase, a state of transition, a time when a familiar space suddenly felt out of time and out of place. That nighttime was basically the in-between state of what was and the next. This same idea applies to an empty hallway, an empty house, or an empty swimming pool. These places feel so off mainly because we're used to seeing these areas in a certain way. When we walk through hallways, we expect more people to be around. Or when we see a house, we expect furnitures and people to be in there. When we see a classroom, we expect to see students in there. When we see a playground, we expect to see kids in there. When we see a movie theater, we expect to see people in there. Oh, it's a Marvel movie. Ah, that makes sense. I mean, try going to school at a time when there will be no one around. Maybe go really early before anyone has even arrived, or go really late after everyone's gone home. And I will guarantee you that you will get the exact same feeling. Because trust me, I also have been there. Over the years, we have seen various categories or subgenres that originated from liminal spaces, with one of the most popular ones being the backrooms. Started as a creepypasta on 4chan back in 2019 when someone posted a randomized image of an empty office room, and with that someone added this caption.
If you're not careful and you no-clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the backrooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum humbuzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you.
And this is where the whole Backrooms, I guess, originated. Then later on, Kane Pixels made a whole series on the Backrooms that got millions of views, which made Backrooms really popular. To summarize, the Backroom is a place that exists out of our universe, and the only way to enter the Backrooms is by no-clipping through this reality. Now, in case you don't know what no-clipping is, it's a term used in video games when the player character goes through solid objects or falls through the ground, which usually happens because of some random glitch in the game. The Backrooms has multiple levels, with level 0 being the most popular. It is this huge office area, and by huge, I mean it's really huge. It's massive. Massive! Do you know what else is massive? It's filled with similar looking rooms that just keeps on going forever, like a huge maze. The walls are covered with yellow wallpaper, the floor is covered with stinky wet carpet, and the entire area is lit with just fluorescent lights, which also creates a loud buzzing noise. And also there are some kind of creatures that roam in these levels. The community over the years has made hundreds of backroom levels. It has its own lore and theories. There are multiple wiki pages based on backrooms. There are guides on how to survive backrooms. There are multiple video games and even a movie in production. Backrooms became so popular that it was not just a part of liminal space anymore. It became its own whole thing. It got so popular that anytime people would see a photo of some random liminal space, they would comment, "Oh, it's like the Backrooms." But even other than that, liminal spaces also have other categories as well, like Dreamcore. Often edited or artificially created, these images show places in a, I guess, more unnatural way. Images are bright and has a hazy glycerin filter applied on top of it. Stuff you see in your dreams, you know what I mean? Like a door in the middle of nowhere, opening portal to some other random location. I mean, where does this door even lead to? Who knows? Or landscapes that are totally unnatural and doesn't make any sense. Weird houses or random architecture locations or pools. Lots and lots of pools. There are so many pool photos. I mean, you know, stuff that just doesn't make any sense. Exactly like our dreams. These are somewhat a visual depiction of places that we see in our dreams. And that's why this also looks so familiar and gives us a deja vu feeling. And looking at a random ass photo like this makes people say, I have definitely seen this before. Because they probably have, in their dreams. But now, it's time for the main point of this video, which is to understand why does this images makes us feel the way it does. It's a weird feeling, you know, like it doesn't make me feel scared as if I want to shit my pants, but also it doesn't make me feel comfortable or cozy like I want to hang out here. The feeling is somewhere in between. Looking at these places makes me feel nostalgic, yes, but it's not the good kind of nostalgic, you know? It's not the nostalgia you feel when you play Skyrim for the 100th time. It's definitely not. Looking at this doesn't make me feel happy, but rather I feel anxious and uneasy. Now, of course, it's not a common feeling for everyone. Some people actually feel comfort looking at some of these liminal images or videos, because according to them, it reminds them of their childhood and that gives them comfort. Which again proves that liminal places can create a variety of feelings among people. But most of the time, the feeling is around the region of nostalgia, comfort, horror, and anxiety. Lots of anxiety. Or which I like to call the liminal feeling. Yeah, I know, so original, thank you very much. But the question is, why? Why do we feel the liminal feeling? The first reason is obviously nostalgia. Even though you may not have seen this exact hallway before, or this exact gas station, or this exact shopping mall, but you have seen some other hallways, or gas stations, or shopping malls in your childhood, right? You probably have some memories connected to these locations. So when you see a photo of this type of place with a VHS filter on top of it, it reminds you of those good old days. There's a term called anamoya in the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows, which basically means nostalgia for a time that you have never known. It's a strange longing for a time that you only know from old photos and movies or stories, as if you miss a past that was never truly yours. And this also explains why so many people feel nostalgic when looking at liminal images. It's anamoya. Another reason why this images gives us the liminal feeling is because it subverts our expectations. We humans are used to seeing things in a certain way, like people in hallways, students in classrooms, kids in playgrounds, touchscreens on smartphones. So when we see something that doesn't follow the universal rule, it immediately makes us feel anxious. Oh my god, how am I supposed to scroll Instagram now? Just imagine being alone in one of these locations. The empty room, the long hallways, or this place. I don't know how to describe this place. And ask yourself, how would you feel here? Now, even though there are no monsters or some form of creature trying to hurt you, you still feel uneasy and anxious. Because deep down, you will get this feeling that you are not supposed to be here. If there are no people around in a place that's supposed to be filled with people, then what am I doing here? The fear is not of some hostile creature, but it's the fear of being stuck here. The fear that you might never be able to get out of here, that you will be forgotten and forever remain stuck here. No matter where you go, it's like you are not making any progress. It's like you're watching a fever dream. But instead of it being a dream, you are forever stuck here, where everything feels unreal and from an alternate reality. All you feel is fear and anxiety, like you're forever stuck in your dreams. Or something like that. I'm just making everything sound more dramatic. But now, let's talk about the actual main point of this video. The actual main reason why I'm making this video. You see, the whole point of this video, the main reason why I talked about all the liminal spaces for this long, is because I wanted to talk about video games. I mean, come on, what did you expect? My last video was literally about playing video games on a CRD. I mean, what did you expect? But in all seriousness, I really believe that video games are one of the best mediums to portray liminal spaces. And yes, there are games that literally takes place in this eerie and transitional environment, and the whole point of these games are exploring these locations, but I am not talking about those games. I'm talking about games that were not just designed to give me the liminal feeling, and yet they still feel liminal. Games that were developed way before liminal spaces or backrooms were even a thing on the internet, and yet they managed to give us the same exact feeling. Let's start with Control. The game is filled with these empty rooms and office rooms and never-ending maze of hallways, stairwells and offices. And it's not only about how these places look visually. Like, if you have played the game, then you would know how the story of this game has so many similarities with the Backrooms. Which is crazy because the game was literally developed way before Backrooms was even a thing. Overall, Control feels really liminal. Life is Strange is also another game that gives me the liminal feeling. But I want to talk about a specific episode from this game. In episode 3 of this game, titled Chaos Theory, Max and Chloe breaks into the school at night to do some investigations. And here the game gives you total freedom to explore the school and find some specific items. And this creates the whole liminal feeling so well. There's no one around other than Max and Chloe, and it's just complete silence. These hallways that used to be filled with students are now completely empty. The classrooms are dark and has a spooky and eerie vibe. And exploring this feels 100% certified liminal. Super Mario 64 is also a game that feels liminal, mainly because of how the different environments look. As it was one of those early 3D games, it has a lot of uncanniness in its world. It has, I guess, more of a Dreamcore vibe. You know, the blue skies, the flat green fields, or the weirdly lit indoor areas. Overall, everything looks really liminal. What else? Silent Hill. Silent Hill also feels really liminal because you are exploring this fog-covered town which is really empty. The whole vibe is really eerie. It feels like a place from an alternate reality or a place from your dreams. The thick fog covers the town, making it hard to see far ahead, which creates a really, I guess, uncanny feeling. What Remains of Edith Finch is also another game that has a lot of liminal areas. The house is filled with abandoned rooms and hallways, each one telling a story of someone who used to live there. The way the game lets you explore these spaces that are now frozen in time and left untouched. Walking through these areas feels like exploring a place that's both familiar and also deeply unsettling, which perfectly creates the liminal feeling. To be honest, there are lots and lots of other games which also captures the liminal feeling really well, and if I start talking about all of them, it would literally take a whole another video. As I said before, video games are one of the best ways to give the player the liminal feeling. Because when you are playing a game, you are not just looking at a liminal space, but rather you are part of that place. You're exploring it, interacting with it, and that's why the feelings are also really heightened. I love video games. So, it seems like you have reached the end. If you're still here, then thank you very much for watching this whole thing. I honestly cannot say how thankful I am that I have people like you watching the video till the end. Honestly, this video took way longer than what I was expecting it to be. So if you're still here and if you're still watching this video, then dude, you are awesome. Thank you so much for watching till the end. If you enjoyed this video, then drop a like and tell me in the comments which game you played that gave you that liminal feeling. And also, if you're new to this channel, then please consider subscribing. And again, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.